Hi, I'm Ian Ferguson, the guitarist behind the project Dreg. First off, thanks for watching. If you enjoy this video and the other content on my channel, please like and subscribe. This video will be the first installment in Hypertechnical creative metal guitar concepts, where I'll be going over various musical ideas which you will hopefully be able to utilize in your own music. The first several episodes of the series will focus on the intro to my song Vortexer, looking at it from the perspectives of rhythm, harmonic concepts, phrasing, and finally technique. Today we'll be focusing on the rhythmic aspects of the intro. Let's get started. In terms of rhythm, Vortexer comes right out the gate with odd note groupings. You'll notice that it starts with two groups of 5/16 notes followed by a sextuplet and then two groups of 7/16 notes. This is the initial rhythmic phrase, and when we add it up, it amounts to 10/16 plus 4/16 plus 14/16, which equals 28/16 altogether and is more or less like 2 bars of 14/16. I don't really like to think of the rhythm like this, however. My preference is to think of rhythm in very small groups while feeling an underlying pulse to stay anchored. So rather than thinking of the overarching meter here, my approach is to focus on the feel of the smaller portions of the phrases which give motion and life to the piece. In the case of this intro, feeling a pulse is relatively simple as we are working with a stream of 16th notes and 16th sextuplets. It is relatively easy to simply force the pulse at quarters and to pretend that the phrases are simply going over the bar lines of a measure of 4/4. I don't overthink it. By the end of the intro, if you held onto the pulse and you focus on the component phrases, you don't fall off at all. The rhythmic phrases are, I think, best explained with the ideas of metrical inertia and motion metaphor. Overall, I feel that rhythm gives the most life to music of any single component, and perhaps directly related to this idea is the concept of musical motion metaphor. Have you ever listened to a stream of uninterrupted sextuplets and felt like a train was running straight for you? Or heard a group of 2/16s followed by an eighth and described it as a gallop? This is motion metaphor. There are many such examples of this phenomenon, all the way from a blues shuffle to the power metal gallop. Related to this concept of metrical inertia, which is the idea that a maintained rhythm sets up expectation for the listener. In short, the listener expects for a rhythm to continue along as it has and is surprised by interruptions to this inertia. So how does this apply to the Vortexer intro? Well, as you might imagine, there are flip sides to both the ideas of metrical inertia and motion metaphor. If consistently repeated rhythmic phrases set up expectations and correlate, at least for most people, to the quality of motion in music, then the abandonment or at least the extreme limitation of expected rhythms provide a sense of wildness. Whereas the stream of uninterrupted groups of 4/16ths may seem to almost pummel you, ever-changing note groupings, including intermixed tuplets along with a rapid tempo, elicits the feeling of a more dynamic motion, breakneck turns, feints, lunges, and dives. In a certain way, it sets up a kind of inertia of its own as well, one where the listener expects to be surprised. This creates rhythmic tension and can be very powerful at transitions, as a more predictable rhythm feels like a relief. Take a listen to the end of the Vortexer intro to see what I mean. To wrap up, we'll simply go over the note groupings for the first several bars of the intro so that you can get an idea of the rhythmic phrases I'm utilizing to create the overall feel. Again, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more like it, please like this episode and subscribe to my channel. See y'all next time.